Bora startar então.
Proper story is supposed to start at the beginning. Ain't so simple with this one. Now here's a kid whose whole world got all twisted, leaving him stranded on a rock in the sky. He gets up, sets off for the Bastion, where everyone agreed to go in case of trouble. Ground forms up under his feet as it points away. He don't stop to wonder why. Finds his lifelong friend just lying in the road. Well, it's a touching reunion. He sees what's left of the rippling walls. Years of work undone in an instant. In the calamity. That a survivor? No, ma'am. It's a gas fella, forced out from underground. Kid pops him good. Starts to feel his bruises, though. Kid just rages for a while.
Tem dois caminhos.
An old repeater falls out of the sky. Ain't a gift from the gods, but it'll have to do. Gotta hold her still to spin up the chamber. Kid's worked up quite a thirst by now, so that fountain looks real inviting. Sometimes you just need a drink. A school of squirts tunnels up around him. Must have fled here from the mines. Kid finds a memento from a girl he knew. Always used to fancy her. It's a wonder the old saloon's still standing. Used to have the nicest. He sets foot inside one of Celandia's famous watering holes. Inside's old Rondi, the bartender. The calamity got him before his drinking did. Then Kid finds his trusty shield.
Nossa, LT.
The security takes him for a petty thief. Special delivery. Gas fellas. Windbags start turning up for last call. More squirts start coming out of the woodwork. A big old fella pops out in front of the kid.
Whoa. Falando me esculachando, entendeu?
Kid sees the way to the Bastion out the window. It's a bit of a drop. Ronde always wanted his ashes scattered here. He gets a good look at things on his way down. He lands on top of a breaker's bow, and it ain't broke. Kid spies a good perch for some target practice. He knows he should draw the string all the way back. Good news is the emergency defenses still work. Bad news is they're aiming for the kid. Picks up a few pointers from a dusty old tome. He's a mighty fast learner. That time to run out of black tonic.
Ah, mas eu tô único pra gastar isso. Aí eu tive que ir do outro lado, né?
The kid pockets a memento from a breaker, once the fastest man in the land.
Dá um upgrade pro ar. Cara, eu vou ficar errando os botões toda hora, mano.
Finds the distillery, right next to the arsenal. Tough part of town. One sip of the spirits in that distillery, and the kid'll feel like a new man. The arsenal's where the kid can pick the best tools for the job.
Não, eu posso não querer jogar. Interessante.
Some of them squirts birthing like crazy
Pera aí,
in a couple of corn bins.
Não vai rolar isso aqui, cara. B e X. Não rola, velho.
Ferry barge sends the kid on his way. The Bastion's real close now.
É, não troca o ícone do botão, tipo, ele trocou o botão pra mim, mas o ícone aparece mostrando que é X ali.
Kid better watch his step. Kid takes a chunk of alloy. Smell of barley and spoiled blueberries fills the air. Scumbags. Kid maybe shouldn't have done what he just did.
Jogar sem cedo demais os bagulhos.
Scumbag of his last game. Kid puts him out of his misery. He finds the core to the Wharf District. He steals the city's heart. Might as well.
Eu upei, não tem nada que eu possa fazer, não?
Kid has a feeling you better get a move on. The place is starting to fall. See that core Kid took was the only thing making this particular rock stay afloat. Kid just keeps running. Assaulting like crazy.
Ouch.
At last, the skyway's in sight. Whisks him where he needs to go. Now the kid sees something stranger still. His mind races. Did anybody else survive? Sure enough, he finds another. He finds me. We talk for a spell. There's a bit of the Bastion's power in that crest, enough to point the way to the cores. All I tell him is to set that core of his on the monument there, then watch. I try to let the kid down gently. This is the Bastion, all right. Except no one else showed up. Ain't always much to say. And just like that, the Bastion comes alive. Starts growing again. Growing stronger. Kid's gotta put its power to good use. Now the Bastion can send him even farther into the wild unknown.
Esse jogo salva quando eu chego aí.
Kid ponders what to build.
Você vai adicionar uma destilaria. Destilaria.
Makes time to sample spirits from my personal supply.
Pegar mais 10 de vida.
Squirt cider will toughen you right up. Too bad about the musty aftertaste.
Tá, eu tenho que pegar mais cores.
Kid don't know what's out there waiting for him. The Skyway. Now the kid can ride the wind to distant lands.
Tá, os triângulos é o que eu terminei. Os triângulos. Pra cá. As estrelas que eu terminei.
Now he lands at the intersection between bad and wrong. Ought to be a core down one of these twisted streets. But which one? He heads for the Squirt Steps. Won't be no field trip this time.
Eu dei o botão errado. Parabéns pra mim.
Scumbag can digest just about anything. Except for this. It's quick for slicing and light enough to throw.
Credo, não gostei sim.
They say even the most rambunctious.
Deixa eu parar de ser burro.
No sign of the core here.
Ai.
He got something for his trouble.
Eles chamam os bichos pra mim. Os bichos viram meus amiguinhos. Vai tirar pra cá?
Them squirts just don't know when to quit.
Meu Deus, cara. Deixa eu trocar de arma, pelo amor de Deus. Que arma
Up
lixo.
north is where the gas fella foreman used to live, tending to his flock. The white gas fellas all dress alike. Kids wondering the same thing. And there it is, but it's locked down tight in an alloy cage. The blustery old foreman is keeping his fellas in check, almost like he's showboating for the crowd.
Eu vou ter que chamar mais um?
And now there's a new marshal in town. He hears the whole place groan, but it's too tough to fall. Might as well check the other side streets before leaving this hole. He heads for the biggest dump in town, Scumbag Alley. And there he is, the oldest scumbag of them all, Gershel. Cuts up Gershel like a pineapple. Old scumbag didn't feel a thing. The rest of the path is gone for good, and his city crest won't bring it back.
Agora tu desliga. Cara, é muito chutante eu trocar o botão e não trocar ali embaixo nos atalhos que aparecem.
He heads for the east side, where windbags used to keep the local forge. Odd place to find the likes of Percy the Snitch. Somehow that old forge is still standing. Inside the forge, Key can fine-tune those instruments of his.
Ah, eu posso escolher um
Kid's
dos
lifelong
upgrades.
friends looking fit to keep on fighting.
Ah tá, é como importa qualquer um dos dois que eu comprar, ele vai melhorar pra mim. Eu só queria saber qual é que eu troco de arma.
Kid's ready to go, and his ticket out's right where he started. He comes back, just like I knew he would. The core hums in his pack. The monument's calling for it. Kid does it again. Only fair he decides what we build next. The windbags used to be alright. Then the calamity took the floor out from under him.
A gente tem um amiguinho na cidade. Forja o arsenal. Fazer o arsenal.
The Bastion's a place of peace.
Eu posso trocar essas porcarias. Vou ficar com o bichinho. Aparentemente o bichinho parece
Peter goes with a hammer better than a box in there.
Partiu.
Picked up traces of other cores while the kid was out. The workman ward. Them windbags used to keep the city humming along here.
Eu não posso voltar em mapas que eu terminei.
The breakers used to come here for target practice. Used to play a little game. See who could bust the most targets and the fewest shots. He's focused, he's armed, and he's off.
Não deu muito bom pra mim.
Perfect shot just happens in a flash.
Shoot down during a flash.
Kid ain't done bad at all.
Bah. 10 tiros ou menos.
He returns with some of the materials we need.
Dá o... Vamos lá fazer mais uma área. Acho que quanto tempo eu vou demorar aqui?
In better days, the melting pot was sealed tighter than the skin on the squirt. Of all the plans to survive the calamity, it had to be stab weeds. Blasted things hurt like a broken heart.
Eu nem cheguei perto, cara.
If there's a core, he figures it ought to be deeper down. Core's stuck inside one of those fancy cages. No breaking a cage like that, but the kid tries anyway. Gotta find a way to spring it open. Some of the stuff lying around is downright dangerous.
O engraçado é que eu apertei X pra pegar o item e ele usou a vida, hein? Muito legal.
He throws a switch. Now what could possibly go wrong? Quite a bit, as it turns out. The cage starts lifting from the core ever so slow. All Kid can do is wait. Shipments start falling in. Not every squirt's born bad. Some spring to the kid's defense. Judging by the movement of the cage, it's gonna take a little while. Scumbags don't take kindly to interlopers. Even some gas fellas take his corner. Heard him pop that mean old foreman. At this rate, maybe 5 more minutes, maybe 30, hard to tell. Squirts get real territorial around the core. Then a shipment of free samples shows up. It ain't all bad, as the kid finds some spices from the motherland, tax-free. One thing's for sure, that cage is awful heavy. It's a troublesome scene to be sure. Left, and the core goes free. 10, 9, 8, 7, give or take a few seconds. Finally, the core's within reach. And done. He's got it. Just gotta get to the nearest barge. I still remember the look on his face after that one. The old world's finished, but the new world's just getting started. Folks voyaged across the boundless sea to found Celandia. It was good living here for a while. Sometimes a single look says it all. A lot of things need fixing up in this world, and we can can start right here. Turns out those old bones still have some spark in them.
A espada nem vou tentar agora.
Couples used to walk the sundown path. Kid ain't here for pleasure, though. But then, somebody gets to the core before the kid. The floor starts giving way under the lightest step. A single panic squirt could bring the whole place down. Fragments of the old world rain from the sky. Stray valuables are lying everywhere. Kid thinks twice about risking his hide. Well, that ain't exactly what the visitors anymore. Security's all fired up. See, the path was intended for leisurely strolling and such. Not so much for noise and tomfoolery. Sky bridges link the path together. One of them bridges whips the kid along. Finds a spyglass, like the ones they'd use to search the stars. Air travel always was an iffy proposition. The calamity changed everything, even where the wind blows. Well, if we mastered the winds in the old days, we could do it again. But the question is, who else could have taken the core? Well, ain't no survivor stole the thing. Scumbag ate it by mistake. Tough break. Unlike the kid, that core ain't coming back. No laser ship live munitions down the path. These wires to toss those things plenty far away. Even gas fellas need some shut-eye from time to time. They get real cranky when you wake them up. In all this toil, Kid keeps coming back to an overwhelming question. Who else could have survived the calamity? So we didn't find a core that time, but that ain't about to stop us. We could always see the stars. We just never could reach them, no matter how high we build. Fetching fizz is like a mouthful of nails, but the benefits are worth it.